what we talking, man? Usually, you know how much it was for me to start up in business was a couple grand. So when you say that, man, how could you under $500?
Yeah, $500. So yeah, it's not a couple grand. Like you got your catering business started, your restaurant business started. This is $500 because the only license you need is one with the state of Illinois. You don't need a city license. You don't need additional permits, right? You just need a state license. So you have financial. Before you jump in, you just need to know you need less than $500 to have some licensures to make sure you're legit and ethical and legal to do this type of business.
Oh, I do.
Good. And it seems if you're slow on business, I gather you have enough time, 15, 20, 25 hours a week to learn this craft.
Oh, yeah.
You're good? Okay. And with that being said, I know the holidays are here and are around and about us, but even then, can you make time through the holidays to prioritize you? So therefore, 2021 starts off with a fast start.
Hey, man, I would normally be flooded with orders. Not this time.
Got it. Good. Time out real quick. What objection did I just overcome in this initial conversation?
Time.
I overcome
Time.
Yep.
Money.
Yep.
And the importance of getting out of what you're doing now to still fund your dream.
And also decision makers.
Decision makers are also.
I'm trying to, without no pun intended, trying to make sure all the cooks in the kitchen that need to make that decision are in the kitchen, right?
Everybody's here but RJ.
Yeah. So Reggie saw with the back end, right? So Reggie, with that being said, let's jump into it. So I just jump into the RI. Because what I've done, I just eliminate those objections, and then even through the holidays, you can still punch through to make sure 2021 gets off to a fast start. So I've anticipated those objections in the beginning of the conversation. Right? Otherwise, I'm not wasting time planting seeds on ground that's rocky. In the Bible, the parable of the parable of the sower, and he's sowing seeds on a ground that's rocky, and it doesn't take because the birds come in because it never takes seed, and the birds steal the seed. The second seed is it starts to take root, but the thorns choke it up. And that's negative people that not have the right decision makers in the room. They start the decision, because negative people or the right decision makers in the room, they choke them out and kill them out of the business. I want to make sure which means that you don't wait around. You cast your seed on the rocky ground, you cast your seed on the thorny ground, and then eventually you cast your seed on the good ground. And then it'll take and have a 5, 10-fold harvest. But you still got to be casting seeds.
Absolutely. Always.
Casting seeds. All right, big dog.
Appreciate that, Captain.
100%, man.
You're going New Year's.
Come on, baby. Let's do it. 2021. Your year. MD, SND, EMD, watch, ring for Reggie's ribs.
Oh,
man. All right.
Good morning, Matt. It's Rachel Peck.
What's up,
Hi. Good morning. So when I'm having I guess I'm not gonna speak it into the air, but if someone feels like they're beating their head against the wall because I would say this person feels like they need to have everything in order first and then being able to move forward, or being stuck in not feeling like they have the right thing to say.
Okay.
So tons of people coming in, prospects, okay, but not knowing exactly or just messing up the conversation by what I'm saying.
Okay, is this a prospect of yours or a teammate of yours?
Me.
Okay.
It's me.
Oh, I got you. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Thank you for transparency. So Rachel, I would say, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get things in order before you do something. I mean, that's the way we were trained, right? You go to school, get prepared, study, and then do. And I also want to encourage you that the world of entrepreneurship is not the world of prepare, then do. The world of entrepreneurship is let's take risk.
Yeah.
Learn, and then we learn along the way, right? We jump off the cliff and then we build the airplane.
Right.
Right? But just know too, Rachel, you're jumping into an industry that doesn't have a large learning curve. You're jumping into an industry that everybody needs our product, especially now. Right? Many people today are considering life insurance more now today than they ever have in their entire life because they understand their mortality. There's risk. There's inherent risk that they might die Well, that was going to happen pre-pandemic anyway, right? And so, but even more so, fear sharpens listening. Okay, and so that's one thing. And number three, you're entering a field where people want what you're bringing to them, which is an income source. So for my 12 years as a producer before PHP, and my 12 years is just an insurance producer, selling. You realize, Rachel, I've never had somebody call me and say, Matt, you've been doing this for 10 years, 5 years, 7 years, 3 years. I want to buy life insurance. Write me up a policy. I can count it on one hand. You know why? Because life insurance is sold and not bought. Okay? You have to buy car insurance. You have to buy homeowners insurance, renters insurance, because it's the law. The apartment insurance, depending on them, renters insurance. But not necessarily life insurance. Not necessarily retirement planning. That has to be educated. You have to educate somebody for them to buy it. Or they're educated already, and then they're buying it. Okay? So, the reason I say that is because probably more people are willing to listen to you, Rachel, because you're putting more money in their pocket than taking it out. So approach them from the recruiting angle, like I approach Reggie. The biggest question everybody here needs to be asking somebody on their top 25 list this week is this question. What's your financial income game plan? What's your income plan for 2021? How do you create income insurance for 2021? How do you make sure your income is not disrupted in 2021? What's your plan? If people say a job, man, you're at the most risk. More people filed for unemployment this year than any other time in history of unemployment. 865 million people filed for 865,000 people filed for unemployment last week, and had not President Trump signed in the stimulus plan last night, 92 million people would have been kicked out of their apartment because 92 million people have not paid their rent in America. And so he extended through the stimulus plan. He extended the pandemic provisions if you're not paying rent because of the pandemic. Okay. By the way, right now it's perfect for us because our office rent, our landlord loves us. There's people inside that building that haven't paid their rent. And right now, he's looking for, hey, who can I rent to? Who can I rent to? PHP is awesome. They haven't skipped rent. What do you guys need? I'm focusing on you guys because you guys haven't skipped a beat throughout this pandemic. Our landlord loves us. And it was sharing last week. We actually pay our rent on the 25th, not the 1st. We pay our rent on the 25th. That's how we build goodwill. In the 7 to 8 years, Rachel, that we've had office rent when I had zero business credit, we always paid rent early. So when it's time to ask, we have the greatest amount of leverage because we play no games with our landlord. So back to the numbers. Also, Rachel, who are you talking to? Because sometimes when you're banging your head on the wall, is because you end up talking to the wrong people.
Yes, I definitely think starting out, I've been aimless as far as who I'm prospecting. Obviously, my hot market, my family, my friends, okay, they're like, nah, that's okay. Yeah. But I'm really narrowing down where I'm thinking of my market, which would be people that have the same interests as me.
Sure.
People who are moms or like cooking or Filipino or veterans or, so finding people that have similar interests or similar things as me.
Yep. So keep this in mind. I got a prospecting video out there called AIM. It's an acronym, AIM. A stands for age. A stands for age. I want to hit up people between 25 and 45 years old. 25 and 45. That's usually my sweet spot right there. Not to say that you don't talk to people in their early 20s, but talk to people in their 50s and 60s. My sweet spot is 25 and 45. Okay? I stands for income. They have to have some form of current job or income or business that generates income. Now, I know it's tough for a lot of people But let me continue. I'll explain here shortly why. M stands for married, or at least in a serious committed relationship. Because now, usually married people. And by the way, congratulations to Jennifer and Janelle.